Good evening and welcome to a new edition of the news. Prime Minister Omar Razaz paid a surprise visit to Al-Bashir Hospital, during which he reviewed the workflow in some departments and the services provided to citizens. The visit comes as a follow-up on directives by His Majesty the King to improve the level of health and treatment of the hospital. Razaz inspected the cancer treatment section and gave orders to improve the level of services and upgrade equipment. The Prime Minister also gave instructions to take immediate administrative measures to improve the level of services after visiting the emergency room and listening to the ordeals of patients and their families. The Prime Minister also visited a public police officer at Al Hussein Medical Center to check on his well-being after being assaulted by a group of people while on duty. Razaz stressed that the government would apply the law firmly and would strike with an iron fist anyone who attempts to violate the law and threaten citizen security. He said the government would not allow or tolerate any assault on security personnel who are doing their duty to protect the security of citizens and their property and regulate traffic. The police officer was attacked and beaten 2 days ago after writing down license plates of a number of vehicles in a wedding motorcade who had closed the road in one of the northern Amman areas. Prime Minister Omar Razaz chaired a meeting of the government's economic team to discuss the initial vision for restructuring the public sector. Razaz said the government will implement commitments it had made in the policy statement and reply to comments of MPs on restructuring institutions and developing the public sector to facilitate measures, reduce bureaucracy, enhance productivity and provide high-quality services to citizens. The meeting also reviewed measures and policies that will be adopted in the coming stage to address economic challenges, stimulate economic growth and enhance competitiveness of the national economy in a way that would reflect on citizens' standards of living. The Fuel Pricing Committee has decided to increase fuel prices in the Kingdom for August. The committee increased the prices of both octane 90 and 95, diesel and kerosene by 1 piastre per litre, while the price of gas cylinders remained unchanged. Prices of octane 90 will go up from 815 fils per litre to 825 fils, while octane 95 will be sold for 1.60 fils per litre instead of 1.50 per litre. The prices of kerosene and diesel will also rise from 615 fils per litre to 625 fils per litre. A government committee meets monthly to adjust fuel prices in accordance with changes in international oil prices. In regional news, the Syrian army has taken full control of the Yarmouk basin in southwestern Syria after routing Daesh terrorists. The basin borders Israel and Jordan and has been the last embattled pocket of the southwest after a sustained advance by the Syrian forces into the long-time rebel stronghold. The army seized Daesh's main redoubt in the town of Shajara yesterday, which left just a few villages in the hands of a faction affiliated with the terrorist group that had controlled the Yarmouk basin. The rural area has been the last wedge of southwestern Syria, with continued fighting, with the army having taken control of the border with the Israel-occupied Golan Heights and most of Daraa province to the east. People in Yemen are now living in extreme hunger and depend entirely on external food, said the UN's World Food Programme. Sa'da, on the border with Saudi Arabia, is the Houthi heartland and one of the areas most affected by the conflict. Food markets, municipal buildings and transport have been destroyed from the fighting. Infrastructure like roads, wells and farms have been heavily damaged, limiting crucial supplies like fuel getting in and farm products getting out. While in Hodeidah, about half of the population has fled and those that remain are bracing for more fighting. WFP's country director said the Yemeni people desperately need peace.
Than anything else, the Yemeni people now desperately need peace. With peace and stability, we can start to get people back on their feet, start to rebuild their livelihoods.
At least 15 people were killed and 15 others wounded in Afghanistan's eastern city of Jalalabad after a suicide bomber detonated a vehicle full of explosives outside a government building, allowing 2 other attackers to get inside and setting off a 6-hour gun battle. There was no immediate claim of responsibility, though the Taliban issued a statement denying involvement. After several hours during which intermittent gunfire and explosions could be heard, a provincial government spokesman said the incident appeared to be over, with 2 gunmen killed and much of the building destroyed. The attack in Jalalabad came as 11 people were killed by a roadside bomb on the other side of Afghanistan when a minibus in western Farah drove over explosives. To sports, 19-year-old Theo Ward of Britain was crowned European champion paraglider after winning a 10-day competition in Portugal. The championship's 15th edition saw a total of 150 women and men paragliders grace the skies above Montalegre, taking on 8 separate tasks over a distance of 567 kilometers. Ward took the overall European champion title with 5,348 points ahead of Germany's Torsten Siegel and Italy's Baggio Alberto Vital. France's Seiko Fukuoka Navel was the highest-ranked woman, with her compatriot Mirelle Del Ferrer in second and Switzerland's Yael Marglesch in third. Gonzalo Higuain looks set to sign on a season-long loan with AC Milan from Italian champions Juventus. The Argentine striker's future at Juve looked uncertain as soon as the club bought Cristiano Ronaldo earlier in the month. Premier League side Chelsea were reportedly interested in Higuain, but the Argentine striker appears set to remain in Serie A. AC Milan have offered to take Higuain on loan for a season, paying $20 million, with the obligation to shell out another $42 million to sign him on a permanent deal next summer. And finally, for a quick look at the weather, normal summer conditions are expected across the kingdom with temperatures around seasonal average. Winds will be northwesterly moderate to brisk with low clouds in the northern and central regions. Amman tomorrow can expect a high of 29 degrees Celsius and a low of 18 degrees. In the Gulf of Aqaba, hot conditions prevail with daytime temperatures at 40 degrees, dropping down to 27 at night. And with this, we come to the end of this edition of the news. I'm Ali Atuqan. Thank you for joining us and have a good night.